Hey, Good Stuff family. Story that if you have ever those days where you're working, but it feels like you're not working at all, this is one of them. This is one of them. It marries two of my favorite things. This is my new friend, Greg Murray. We finally met. We're here at Greg Murray Photography and Rescue. So Jenn Lynch is Suzy's adopted or foster mama. So the story within this story is fantastic. We're here on a shoot. I'm going to flip it around. I'm going to show my friends Brian and Greg as well from BG Photography. They did an amazing job. I am so grateful for you two. They brought in all this professional equipment. And so we're working on telling their story. You'll see it soon. This is a little tease, if you will. But I thought while we're here, let's just go live to the Good Stuff family and quickly explain. So Suzy's story is that I was actually at her wedding because tell me, you created a bucket list for her because why?
Yeah, so Suzy came into the Cleveland Kennel diagnosed with a pretty aggressive form of cancer. She was brought in and needed to get into a hospice foster, and so took her home with me, and because she was given such a short life expectancy, we put her a bucket list. Things, including getting married, cycle, a boat, doing all kinds of fun stuff. And one of the things that she got to do was a professional photography session with Greg Murray, and that's how we got introduced to Greg.
Yes.
And so Greg, like most people that meet Suzy, fell in love with her and all her sassiness when she came in, and the rest, as they say, is history.
And I'm here to personally vouch for the fact that she does not false advertise when her shirt says free face licks. And it's the truth. Look at that, there, right on cue. It's not as one, it's like a facial, you called it.
Right, a Suzy special, we call it.
And so she was supposed to be gone over a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
When she was dropped off at City Dogs, has this amazing branch of Friends of the Cleveland Kennel.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys have done, even in the last few years, I have seen amazing growth in the way that you get dogs rescued and into homes like Suzy and give them the second chance. But when she was dropped off, the diagnosis was
just a few months. They gave her 3 to 6 months, and that was a year in over almost 2 years. We're coming up in May of this year of 2 years since her diagnosis. So, it's amazing what a little love and a lot of fun activities, rest, relax, offer her. So, she is just as sassy and as fun-loving today as she was when she came in. And she takes life one day at a time and doesn't miss any opportunities to take advantage of it, especially, fun stuff like this where she gets to come and hang out in Greg's studio and get fed treats and peanut butter and take lots of great pictures with him.
And speaking of lots of great pictures, over here really quickly before we talk to Greg. So I'm newly a self-appointed president of the Greg Murray fan club, by the way. What a great inspirational guy he is. These are some of the photos he's taken. And his story is that he followed his passion. He didn't always do this. He used to have a career in human resources, and he just felt like he wanted to be a photographer, and then he loves animals. He's always had dogs, and he married his two passions, photography and rescue doggies. And of course he gets paid. There are clients who come in, that's part of his business, that pay to have their pets photographed like this. I mean, seriously, can you put a price on that? Look at how he has such a gift. But part of his business is photographing rescues and especially the Pittie brand that we are all in agreement here that gets a bad rap. And so this is one of his books here. But the first one, maybe you saw it, it was so popular. It's this peanut butter dogs was the first one. And he's working on his fourth book now. So look here, I love this. Suzy has been, that's not Suzy there, but Suzy has ended up being really the poster child of this place. mean, he loves them all, but a little soft spot for Suzy. And why? That's because she's quite the diva model. She's a great model, isn't she?
She's amazing.
When you take those pictures, she's very patient, right? It's like, and you feed her the peanut butter. And
Yeah, she's become my favorite dog to photograph. And, you know, as you know, the face of my business. She's on my gift card. She's the first thing you see on my website. She is the cover of my 2022 wall calendar. I love her. As Jen said, everybody falls in love with her, and this has got to be her 5th time in my studio, I think, and we always have a good time.
She's such an ambassador for the breed. Look, and so I kind of set it up that it was your passion. Do you want to give us kind of the shorthand version of what led you to do this?
Yeah, you know, I just spent 10 years working a desk job in human resources, and mentally and physically it was the grind was catching up to me, and I just needed a change. And prior to leaving my career, I was getting involved in photography and was doing it on the side, and just everything kind of aligned in 2014, and I left my business career and became a full-time photographer, and now I photograph animals for a living. So.
And you're part of this network that I call, there are certain people and organizations that are the jewel and the crown of Cleveland, and that totally is you and what you're doing here.
Thank you.
And you love Cleveland, I love Cleveland, and you stayed. I'm going to show this picture over here because this is exactly, he's so ridiculously in demand and popular. He could be anywhere, and he chose to, like, we know where those words came from originally. We won't mention the name. He didn't choose to stay, but Greg chose to be keeping his talents in Cleveland. So I think the world of what he's doing. I think the world of you. And when we say good stuff, it's classic the good stuff, because there's really no way to probably tell just how many dogs you've helped to rescue.
Yeah, hopefully anything I can do to promote rescue dogs, and you know, when you're ready for a dog, I always try to tell people to check out your local shelter or, you know, home-based rescue organization. There's a lot of amazing dogs looking for forever homes. You know?
Yes, I love it. And don't take my word for it. Look, big media outlets have already profiled him. Today Show, People Magazine, Reader's Digest even.
Love nibbles.
The Cleveland magazine cover there. But it was this picture that landed her on the front of the calendar. Hey, how do people get those calendars?
They just go to my website, gmurrayphoto.com.
gmurrayphoto.com.
Yeah,
Okay.
you have probably a couple left, so.
Okay. I love it. Anything else you guys want to add before we head out? We're going to have, for you, if you guys are just joining us on this live, we'll have their entire story coming up here. And we don't know exactly when, but we'll be publishing it. But for now, we are on Berea Street here in this area of Cleveland that's up and
Cadell
coming.
neighborhood.
Mm-hmm. And this is where the magic happens. If you've seen any of those magazine covers, this is where it all starts, from the studio here. And my heart is full today, because talk about see the possible and see the good, be the good, you know, purpose-driven lives, all of our phrases, it's all right here. So 1,000 thank yous. Thank you, Suzy, for being such a good girl, such a good ambassador.